tutorial about Flutter development. And in this Flutter app development, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you all the basic fundamental concepts that you need to know before you start Flutter app development. Okay, so this tutorial I will teach you all the tips and tricks that you need to know. Okay, so which will make your Flutter app development process pretty much fast and easy. So I will teach you all the tools, um, important tools that you need to use for Flutter app development. Okay, so let's not waste the time and let's go right to it. Okay, the first thing that you have to understand when you just create your first basic Flutter app, the project structure will be something in this structure, right? You can either expand or collapse using these buttons. And if you can also locate the file that you are here, the main.file file. So you see, if you see like your project structure is pretty much in this format. Like you have the Android directory, you have a build directory, you have a iOS directory, you have a library directory, you have a test directory, you have a web directory. So the things that you have to understand is all these directories, like Android directory, consist of all the native Android code generated automatically by Flutter. So Flutter automatically creates iOS, Android and web apps and auto generate those files and update them. Okay, so this directory consists of all the native Android codes. Like for example, if anybody of you has have some knowledge of native Android app development, you see that properties like Gradle properties, all this build Gradle file, all these are auto generated by Flutter. Okay, so this is the concept that you have to understand. And if you open the iOS directory, you have all this uh, XC workspace files, like you see Xcode projects file, or workspace. All these are like native iOS uh, files that is automatically generated by Flutter. And you also have like web directory consists of all these HTML codes, like it's auto generated by Flutter. Okay, so uh, the only concept that you have to understand is like we are going to develop Flutter applications, we are concerned only in this specific directory, which is called Lib Directory. And here consists of all our all the app development is mostly focused in this Lib directory, where we write all our Dart files, okay, to create Flutter applications. Okay, and that's it. Also, actually, this folder has also the test folder, which helps us to write Flutter test, okay, unit test. I'm gonna also go through it one by one. Okay, so now as I told you, the main Dart is a starting point of our application. So as you can see, this is the main.dart file, which is inside the lib directory. This is actually the main starting point of our application. So any Flutter applications you write, you have a main.dart file. Okay, so your app starts from here. So you run your app. As you can see here, you have the void main. So this is the starting point of your application, where you run your Flutter app from here. So it just starts from here. Okay, so then as you can see, we have my app is extending the stateless widget, and it's great. Also, it's the this widget is actually the root of your application, as you can see here. So we will go through this in our next tutorial. So the most important concept that you have to understand is like main.dart is a starting point of your app. So now I will tell you some of the list of all the important concepts of IDE for Flutter app development. Okay, so but before that, I also want to tell you that another important file that we have to be careful about is how the Flutter configuration is created, right? So it's like pubspec.yaml file. This is a file this is our configuration file actually, which configures the Flutter app. So you have to also be careful about this file. As you can see here, if you click here, it just gives you the location. And what this configuration file has is like, here we add all our third-party library and all the other packages. Here it's like kind of a manifest of your file. So it's like the most important file, which where you add all your third-party libraries, packages, you set up your asset folders, fonts, as you can see here. Right now it's commented, but we will be going it uh, in detail in next tutorials. So as you can see here, we can set up our fonts, assets, and many more things, that like your library, your Flutter, the version of your Flutter, the SDK, as you can see here. Okay, so everything is here. Okay, so this is the second concept. So now I will show you the step by step, the list of all the important concepts of IDE for Flutter development. I mean, like the list of all important tools. Okay, tools and concepts. So the first thing is the Dart analysis. Okay, so if you check out this Dart analysis tab, if you click it, what it does, it's like it comes from the Dart plugin that we have we installed the Dart plugin, right guys? If you check out my previous tutorial, we installed our Dart plugin. So it comes from the Dart plugin, and what is this used for? It's used for analyzing the Dart code and gives you the error or warning generated. So let me check out. So if I just remove uh, this line, if I remove this comma, I remove this one, so let's see what the Flutter will generate. Okay, if I run this app, the Dart analysis will obviously give you that it's expected the this ending semicolon, like this symbol. So Dart analysis is pretty much telling you like all the errors generated during writing the code. Okay, so yeah, if you just want to navigate to that current that error code, like for example, we really don't know where is the error, right? It's like there is no like any errors written here, right? So what we have to do is we pretty much click here, double click here, and it will pretty much navigate to the error here. So now it's expecting a comma, like semicolon, right? And that's it, guys. So as you can see here, so now I will try to run this again, and like it will pretty much like the error will disappear. Okay, no, actually we have to run the main dart file. But anyhow, if you see how the dart analysis, like you don't get any errors, right? So that's the concept, guys. So that's what dart analysis is about. It just gives you the it's used usually used it's very helpful for when you are making up your, like when you are running the applications, sorry, when you are like coding, and for example it will automatically detect the errors okay, in your code. Okay, so that's it, guys. So for example, this one, so I remove that one, and like the semicolon there, and I also remove the semicolon here. So yeah, I rebuild it. As you can see that it's expecting semicolon here, and also it's expecting the semicolon here, right? So that's the concept, guys. So now I rebuild it here, and like it's pretty much no, like no error there. Okay, so now, so after the dot analysis, we can go to the second tool, that is Flutter Outline. As you can see here on the end of your IDE, like you have this all these tabs, and just click this Flutter Outline tab. And what it is like, it's pretty much like a tree structure. As you can see here, it's like a tree structure uh, of the widgets of your entire code base of app. So it's like the tree structure of the widgets. So if you click one of the, like the widgets, like your app bar, right, and like the text, okay, so everything, like like floating action button, everything there. So you can see here. So it's pretty much useful for navigation. Usually, when you want to navigate to the, like I want to navigate to certain like app bar, or like I want to, because right now we have a very simple code base, like a very pretty much few lines, like maximum 132. But when your app grows, you have a lot of code, and like it's pretty much messy to navigate, right? So this Flutter Outline will give you a tree structure of your widgets, so pretty much you can go and navigate wherever you want. Okay, so this is one of the helpful tool that you have to uh, that will help you for Flutter app development faster. Okay, so now the third tool is like the Flutter Inspector. So to get the Flutter Inspector, actually you have to run your application. So let's run our application. So you can see here, it's launching our app main lib.main.dart file in as I told you, like main.dart file is like the starting point of your application. So the launching starts from there. So it's like a launcher. And running xcode build. Let's see if the build is when the build is ready, we will see this Flutter Inspector. Okay, now the xcode build is done. If I open the emulator, now you see that your Flutter Inspector is pretty much uh, created here, and you see that we have a widget tree and everything. So it's useful for debugging and cross-checking. If you like, it's usually useful for debugging and cross-checking usually. Okay, so how can you debug and cross-check? Like for example, if you click each widgets in a widget tree, uh, so this, okay, so as you can see here, it's pretty much helps you to debug and like cross check and analyze, like for example, like what's the, because it gives you more information about what's happening there, right? So that's the concept. So if you click the floating action button, you see all the information of floating action button, like all the two, like the properties of the floating action button is like given here. As you can see here, like okay, everything is null false, like you see the depth here is on 1 to 1. Like see the icons, like you see, like the height, way, like the width, like all this, like it helps you to debug and cross check your app. And it's like kind of a Google Chrome inspector, as you know that it helps you to inspect your application and cross check, and like it helps you to debugging your application much faster. Okay, that's the concept. And you see, like it gives you more information, like the size is 34, like the weight is 400, like the color is this hex color code. That's it. It gives you a lot of information about the properties of the widget. Okay, that's it about the Flutter Inspector. And now let's go about the another uh, so now there is also another important tool, that is this toggle select widget mode. Okay, so if I open the your emulator, if I select this toggle select widget mode, what is it's gonna do, it's gonna help you to select your uh, your widgets, like select whatever in your application. Okay, so pretty much you can select everything. Like for example, I can select this one pretty much in your emulator, and like I can get more, I can inspect that view, like that widget in this inspector, right? Flutter inspector. So that's really helpful. So if you want to select another widget, like you can just pretty much click here and like reselect this one, and this is another rich text, and you can inspect pretty much all the details and information about this widget, right? So this is pretty much helpful, guys. So I can just select this floating action button, you can get the icons here, right? And having all this padding, you know and yeah, it's gonna help you to inspect and analyze, and it's really 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 helpful for debugging actually. Okay, so another important tool is also this overlay. So like I just deselect this one, and another important tool is this overlay guidelines to assist your with fixing layout issues. If you select this tool, it is gonna just help you to, as you see, it's gonna pretty much help you to like solve your issues related with the layout, so it's pretty much helpful for that. So like the guidelines to assist you fixing the layout issues. Okay, I will. So yeah, similarly you have other more tools, like you can show baselines which are used to position text, can be useful for checking, like this one. You can also choose this one, like so borders that change color when elements repaint. You can also choose this tool that helps you to highlight images that are using too much memory by inverting colors and flipping them, so these are the important tools that you have to understand before starting Flutter app development. So now finally I will also tell you how to uh, yeah, finally I will also tell you about this run console. And actually what this run console is gonna tell you is gonna show all the messages of your app while running your app. As I was launching my application, it was showing all these messages that it is launching our main.dart file on this emulator, like iPod Touch 7th generation emulator in debug mode, right? If you see, is running xcode build done, all these things is yeah, it's just shown in the console. So it's everything that's all the messages of your app while running your app is shown here, whereas the dart analysis is more about while you are writing your code. Okay, it's on development process. So, and finally, yeah, okay, I will also tell you about this the feature of testing your applications, Flutter app. So pretty much this when you create a sample project, you already have this directory created there. So this is like test written in Flutter. So yeah, I will just pretty much run the test and see if it's working. guys. Yes, and finally, yeah, you see that the test is was success. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I just explained some of the few important tools in your IDE that you need to know before starting up with Flutter app development, which will really make your Flutter app development process faster. And hoping that and I want to just close my tutorial, and thank you for listening to my tutorial and like watching my tutorial. uh, if you really like it, please do subscribe, and catch you up in the next lecture, guys. Thank you.